So earlier today, I recorded a speed coding video coding script, which actually is a chatbot using Groq Llama 3 70 billion with streaming responses and message history memory. And I pretended like I don't know anything, and I actually went to the documentation and whatnot. But this whole thing took me under about 8 minutes, 40 lines of code. And then I was doing some research, asking how many lines of code an average professional programmer write per hour. And here I came across this, and it says that from Ars Technica, which is a place I respect and trust. In their forum, they were discussing that an average developer writes about 300 to 500 lines of code a day, which is about, let's say, 40 to 50 lines per hour. So if that's the case, uh, I was able to perform a 6x in this case then, writing this, because 8 minutes, 40 lines of code is about 5 lines per minute. That comes to about 300 lines of code. And the average of this actually comes to 50. So I was able to 6x that. And I will show you the speed coding video so you can see that I was timing myself. But I also want to go over the actual lower speed video and actually talk about how I interact with the AI assisted tools for coding. I think this is the most important thing a developer can learn. Actually, right after I did this, I wanted to do a test, and I actually wrote this entirely in Cursor, 200 lines of code in about another 10, 15 minutes. But unfortunately, I didn't record it. This one has a lot of cool features, so maybe we'll talk about this at the end of the video. But let me play you the speed run of this, and then after that, I will actually talk about my approach to how I did this. So this will have some music. I'll let that play too. So here it is. You can see the timer here. So this is it. So it took me about 8 minutes to do this. Thus demonstrating 6x. So I'd like to share a little bit about how I did this. By the way, if you've been following me, I've been doing this for a year and a half, and I put 1,000 hours of coding actually to produce currently 300 videos. You can find all my videos at my website along with the code downloads if you're a patron. But I learned quite a lot. I like to work fast, so I thought this is where my skill lies. I thought this is something I actually learned by spending a lot of time, and I wanted to share it with you. And I will be starting a new course. I'll be calling it the 1000x MasterClass. Since GPT-5 is around the corner and better and better models are going to be coming out, the goal will be to actually reach the 1000x within the next few years. So hopefully you'll join my journey. I will be posting reviews and bits and pieces of this course, of course, on my channel as well, but the full course will be available at Patreon, and the link will be in the description. So let's go back to the video, the slow down version, and I'll start it, and I will go over that from the beginning. Talk about how I approached this. So let's begin. So my first instinct was actually to go to to go to Groq's documentation. Let me go back real quick so we can see it again. So I went to Groq's documentation to grab some snippet of code under chat completions. And that's what I actually got. That's what I was looking for. And then I pasted it within its entirety to here. And I'm getting used to this new bot player control. So this is the comment I'm typing. So I'm asking it to remove all the comments and actually turn it into a function for a chat loop, which it's going to do shortly. Let's speed up. So once we have this response, I'm going to copy and paste it over here. It's the first time I'm actually trying something like this. So, okay, this is the response. As you can see, we have a function now and a main function with a chat loop. This is going to work well for us, but except I didn't want any temperature mix tokens and things like that here. I came and grabbed the model name and replaced it with, I believe it was Mixtral, which was originally there, and delete these and set streaming to true. And setting streaming to true here. And after that, actually, we want to do a streaming, so we need the loop. So I came back to documentation to look for a streaming example. And when I found that it's not there, or at least I couldn't find it, I wanted to come to Perplexity and ask for a streaming. I made a typo here, API call with Llama3 in Python code. And I had to go back and actually correct this a few times. And then it gave me, sometimes this actually works really well, but this time around it didn't work very well. And the code it was a bit of a hallucination, as you're going to see here in a moment. It is asking me to get this streaming, like it wants me to import this streaming response from Groq, which I knew it didn't exist, but at this moment, actually, just 1 second. Right here, because in my IDE it's lit up as white, that means the cursor cannot find this method in the Groq from Groq library or this class. Obviously, this is a bit of a hallucination. So this was, sometimes some things work, sometimes it doesn't. So after this point, I decided to just go ahead and do it myself. So I know that chat completion is going to be a generator object. So I wanted to loop over that. Let me zoom in so we can see this part better. I want to loop over it and then just see. I couldn't remember exactly. You have to grab the delta object. I couldn't see it clearly, but so this is what I'm attempting. I'm just going to loop over each message. I'm going to print message, but here Copilot completed with content. That's the error we're getting. I'm just going to delete that and print the message. And then here we're going to see each chunk. So here you can see that each of these messages is a chat completion chunk. We want to go into its choices attribute. And then this is a list, so we want to go into the first element 0 and then grab the delta and content. We know that we can actually implement it here. So I just did this manually, but we do have to initialize the system response to an empty string so that we can append to it and if we wanted to return it eventually. But here at this moment, we are actually going to print it as well. Say message.choices. So we're going into here and then to the 0th element delta.content, which is going to include all the tokens, as you can see here. So that's what we're doing. And if there is a chunk, we do want to make sure, because this content can be null or none, especially in the beginning, we do want to make sure that it's not empty. In that case, we're going to append it to the assistant, and then we're going to print it at end and flush. So it prints nicely to terminal, and we can return it. So when we do that, then it's just going to work fine. Except here, I run into an error. Oh yeah, so we didn't want the assistant there, so removing that. And this should work fine, but it did have an error because it ended up including an empty message for the user. So we're going to see that here in a moment. I would like to take a moment to talk about the benefits of becoming a patron. As some of you may know, in the last year and a half, I've spent 3,000 hours, over 300 projects as a patron. You will have access to all the code files so you can get inspiration and iterate quickly. Another benefit is that you'll have access to all my courses, and my most recent and most proud one, the 1000x MasterClass, teaching what I've learned on how to code fast and efficiently. Also the Streamlit course and the Fast API course. In my Patreon, I also have tiers in which you can connect with me one-on-one. Check those out as well. Let's give it a second. I'll speed this up. Oh, here, user has. Oh, sorry. I actually kind of got ahead of myself. At this point, we have a chat loop. If we zoom in, we have a chat loop. That's it. So we send a message and then API returns a response. But that's it. We don't have any memory of what's going on. We did manage to implement streaming. So now here I am actually going to type in. User has I make a lot of typos when I write. By the way, I don't think that changes much, but I'm saying user as user role, assistant as assistant. We want to keep appending to the message history to keep memory of our conversation. That's it. And then this was sufficient at this time. I believe, I wish I saw which model I was using. I might be using Opus here, but I think GPT-4 should have done it just fine too. So here this worked. If you pay attention, we see that we are initializing a messages list, and here, right, let me see. Oh, yeah, right here, we are appending the message role, and then we get a response and we append it as assistant. So this should do it. And this is the moment when I actually test it. And it works, but an empty user message gives an error, which we're going to encounter here in a moment. I'm trying to test its memory. So we got an empty, the error we got is a user message was null or empty. I'm not even sure exactly why. I just gave that code error back, and it implemented right here just to check. So when we have user input, we just check that user input exists. It's not empty or null or none. In that case, we do the appending and get the response and append the assistant. Otherwise, we print, please enter a non-empty message. So this worked actually. So this is about it. I know it's not too complex, but the fact that in 8 minutes, I think, especially if I didn't go to Perplexity, I think I could have about 6.5 minutes. But yeah, so this was it. I believe we went back to the beginning. Let me go back to the code. So this is what we're doing, where we're importing Groq, and this chat with Groq function is going to take in messages and make a call, implement streaming responses with system's response. At some point, I added this because when you're doing printing, streaming response printing, sometimes this where the user, when we are actually taking the user input, will come right after that, so not in its own line. So that's why after we've dealt with the system's responses, I'm just making a new line. Yeah, and in the main function, we're initializing a messages list with a system message, and we're taking user input. If it's quit, then we break. Otherwise, we're infinitely taking user input, append the messages, and chat with Groq, get the response. Yeah, so this was pretty fun. And then after that, I actually went a little bit overboard and created the chat app class. I'll include this with in Patreon too, with the MasterClass. Just know that I don't have the video for this yet, but this works really well. It actually has, I mean, clear chat history. It has saved chat history. So this is what you see here. I can actually play this and demonstrate it. Load. You can load chat history. You can even search clear chat history, display, you can print it to the terminal. You can search the chat history based on keywords. You can edit the message history based on index if you wanted to. That's what I did here and changed the system message, which is the index 0 to 123. Yeah, let me show you how this works. This is pretty cool. So you see, it even prints all the available commands. So I'm not going to do a very detailed code review on this because I want to recreate it similar to what I've done today. By the way, do let me know if you like this format and if you find it useful. So we have all these stuff. So let's just begin with a message that we can say hi, right? Actually, Groq API has been slow since a little bit ago, but so we have hi. We can do, what can we do? We can declare history. We can type in history. Yeah, it's displaying. So this is the messages so far we had. That's good. We can clear it, and then we can type in history again, and we only have the system message, so that works. We can say the secret number is 42. Get a response, and now we can actually save. So save actually works really remarkably. You just have to put a space after that. So we can give it a file name, but I can just say save. If you don't provide a file name, it actually says to provide a file name, let's just say test, and it automatically adds a JSON. And like this is our message history just being saved. Okay, so we can then clear our history and then load. If I type in load, oh, I had to say let's clear it again, load and space. So it actually automatically lists the stuff to me. So we can go back for this is the one that we had, and if I do history, then it's printing our message history. So it's pretty cool, really. Oh, and we can do search. Let's search for example, helpful. Oh, I made a typo again, like I usually do. Search helpful. This should only be in the, yeah, you want to search for something helpful and plus the helpful assistant and also our search for helpful. So it's pretty awesome. And we can also do edit, right? Let's do that too. Let's say edit. I forgot how the edit worked. Let me go back. Used to do edit, edit space index. Okay, let's do edit space 0, and then let's just here changed invalid. Oh, we have to put space. And now if you do save space, save again test, and we go back to test, the system message has changed because it was index 0. So this is really cool. Works well. But just to keep recap, it's just a continuation of this Groq chatbot. I added just different methods to handle user messages, assistant clearing history. Yeah, quite a lot of stuff. And this is the run method, which handles the commands. But the main point of this video was this. I hope you enjoyed it. Do let me know what you think of the 1000x masterclass. So at first, it's not going to have, so pretty much this video is all it's going to have, which is the YouTube video which you're watching right now. But I'm going to be adding exclusive content on a regular basis. So if you want to get in on it, it'll be my Patreon. And thank you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. I would like to take a moment to talk about the benefits of becoming a patron. As some of you may know, in the last year and a half, I've spent 3,000 hours, over 300 projects as a patron. You will have access to all the code files so you can get inspiration and iterate quickly. Another benefit is that you'll have access to all my courses. And my most recent and most proud one, the 1000x Masterclass, teaching what I've learned on how to code fast and efficiently. Also the Streamlit course and the Fast API course. In my Patreon, I also have tiers in which you can connect with me one-on-one. Check those out as well.